Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I am Muhammad Yasin. This is virtual class of Pakistan International School Taif. This class is for the students of grade 10. We are going to do chapter 11 today, the exercises of chapter 11 today, and this is our 23rd video in this class. After today's lesson, we shall be able to write the essay, My Ambition, and we shall be able to do exercises of Unit 11. Dear students, let us start from the essay, that is My Ambition. Ambition means goal of life. What you want to do in your life, that is your ambition. Dear students, this is the essay. I have given here you a sample. I shall read the main points of this essay to develop some understanding. I think you will understand. The language is easy, vocabulary is easy also. Sentence structures are simple. Let us read and try to understand what is given here. Second thing is not necessary it is that you write the same ambition. Your ambition can be different from this one which is mentioned here in this lesson, in this essay. Yours can be totally different one. You can select your ambition, whatever you have, you can write about that. Not necessary it is to write the same what I have mentioned here. Let us see what it is written here, then you can decide what to write. Progress, peace and prosperity are the outcome of human ambitions. Most people have the ambition of life. Ambition leads us to a clear goal of life. It concentrates more and helps us achieve our own goals. Ambitions vary from person to person. Some people want to become social servants. Others want to become artists and craftsmen. It all depends upon their choice and interests, and when they reach a certain stage, what they want to be in life. I want to become Army officer. The Pakistan Army is part of the Pakistani Armed Forces and its duty is mainly land-based military operations. After the partition in 1947 and the independence of Pakistan, this army came into being. At this moment, it is headed by General Qamar Javed Bajwa. The army in Pakistan is a volunteer-based profession or fighting force. In accordance with the International Institute for Strategic Studies, it has members which are active, amounting up to 550,000 members in the year 2010. I really want to be an army officer. This is not easy, but my dream is to serve the country and people. I have read a lot of books and have seen the lives of officials in many movies. But I understand that it is very difficult to become an army officer. But I love my country. It is the military and naval officers that protect us day and night. And they help us escape the danger in the event of a war or crisis. They are far from families, but they ensure the safety of their citizens. They sacrifice a lot of things in their lives to protect the people of our country and keep us safe. Dear students, I have read it. The purpose of reading was to give you some idea what it is when we say to write an essay. When the title is My Ambition, the process is same. Think about the title, generate ideas, arrange them, write the first draft, proofread it, and then write the final draft. This is the process of writing an essay. which we have discussed before in detail. The same is here also. You will mention here in fact what you want to be, what is the goal of your life. Then you will highlight it, and everyone is sure to get a goal is not an easy task. I think you have got the understanding what is going on here when we are writing the essay. You can change it as I told you. Let us move forward. Yes, we have come to our textbook. This is the exercise in which we are going to answer the questions. Before this we have done some exercises and we have read the lesson also. In this exercise we are set to answer the questions. 7 questions are given here. Let us answer them one by one. Question number 1 is who looked after Pip after the death of his parents? His sister and her husband Joe looked after him after his parents' death when he was a lonely orphan. Yes, students, we have read it in the lesson. He was an orphan. His sister looked after him, and his sister's husband looked after him. Who was Joe? How did he treat Pip? Joe was his sister's husband. He was warm-hearted. He became his friend and loved him as if he were his own son. Yes, students, we come to know while reading the lesson that he was a nice person, very kind-hearted man. He looked after Pip very well. But about his sister, it is not said. She was not so kind as Joe was. Why did Pip give food and drink to the prisoner? Pip was a kind-hearted person, so he gave food and drink to the prisoner who had escaped from the prison. Pip is a kind-hearted boy. That is why he helped the prisoner. Question number 4 is what happened to the prisoner? The prisoner was recaptured by the soldiers and taken away to the prison again, but he never forgot Pip's kindness. Yes, students, we come to know that Pip helped the prisoner when he was sitting on the road. He was looking tired and thirsty and hungry also. Pip helped him, and after some time the police caught him again and took him away. Why did the prisoner support Pip? The prisoner supported Pip because he had been kind to the prisoner and had provided food and drink to him when he was in trouble. Yes, students, when Pip helped the prisoner decided to help the Pip in his life. This is question number 6. What happened to the prisoner's wealth after his death? By law, all his property belonged to the government because he could not transfer to Pip in his life. So the government took hold of his property after his death. Yes, student, when someone dies in the prison, if he has his son's daughter's wife, then his wealth is given to them. Otherwise, it is taken by the government. The same thing happened here with the prisoner also. The prisoner liked Pip, but Pip was not his son. Pip has no relation with the prisoner. That is why wealth was not given to Pip. There was option for the prisoner to transfer the property to Pip in his life. Prisoner was able to transfer in his life, but in his life he could not find any opportunity to transfer it to Pip. That is why after his death it was taken by the government. Do you know a person who achieved success in life through his hard work? Yes, I know many persons like Bill Gates who achieved success in life through their hard work. Yes, students, here you can mention anybody other also. I have mentioned here Bill Gates, but in the world you can find so many people who are very successful, and if you read their success stories you will come to know they worked very hard in their lives and became successful. This is next exercise, dear students. We are set to analyze elements of the story Great Expectations with the help of the following story map. What is the story map? There are characters, there is a setting, there is a problem, there is a solution, and there is theme. 5 elements are mentioned here. Five elements of the story are mentioned here. We are set to analyze all these elements. Dear students, these are the essential components of a story. Is that okay? Let us analyze. We shall write about them one by one. For example, setting. What is the setting? We should know what is setting. The setting is, in fact, the story has a setting of a poor family. If we look at the story, what is the setting? Setting is the place, the situation, the scene where the story is set. What is the situation here? It is set in a poor family. It depicts the life story of a poor orphan, Pip, who lives with his sister and her husband. This is the story. This is the setting of the story. Dear students, it is very important to understand these elements, otherwise you will forget and you will say nobody has told us, we have not studied. It is very important to understand, to memorize them, to remember them. What is the setting of a story? Setting of a story is the place where the story is set. In this story, we find the setting in UK, a poor family. The setting of the story is poor family living in UK. Okay, what are the characters? We find 4 characters. Who are they? They are Pip, his sister, her husband, and the prisoner. These 4 are the main characters of this story. Though we find a young man, Pip's friend also, but we can say here there are main 4 characters. You can write 5 also, that is okay. What is the theme of this story? The theme of this story is that Charles Dickens depicts the growth and personal development of an orphan named Pip, similar to Dickens' memories of his own childhood. In his early years, the young Pip seems powerless to stand against injustice. However, as he grows into a useful worker and an educated young man, he reaches an important realization. Grand schemes and dreams are never what they first seem to be. Yes, this is the thing what he come to know, what he understand with the passage of time when he is an educated person. Okay, after theme, the next element is problem. What was the problem in the story? Discussed in the story. What was the problem highlighted in the story? The problem was great expectations. The problem was great expectations. When Pip helped the prisoner, from the prisoner he received message that he will be given a lot of property from him. Is the main problem discussed in the story. When Pip was looking towards the property, he was not successful. He did not start working. But when his expectation was finished, he started working and very soon he became wealthy. This is the problem. And what was the solution? Hard work was the solution. Hard work and self-reliance are the solutions suggested in this story. Yes, students, we come to know nothing happened until Pip was looking at the property of prisoner. But when the hope finished, when the government took over the property of the prisoner, Pip started working. He worked very hard and then became a successful in his life. Yes, students, this is the next question. We are given some patterns of text organization. We are guided here. If we are given a text, how we can arrange this text? How we can arrange this text? Text structure. When we arrange a text, how should we arrange it? It is written here chronological order, chronological, time sequence. What is chronological? Chronological means in a sequence in which the incidents happened. The incident happened first will be written first. The incident happened later will be written later. I give you example also. Ahmed woke up early, ate his breakfast and went to school. If you write in detail, you will write Ahmed woke up early, said his prayer, ate his breakfast and went to school. This is a chronological order. If you say Ahmed went to school, woke up, ate his lunch, ate his breakfast in a wrong order, that will not be correct. That will not be called chronological order. The incidents will be said in chronological order if they are written in the same sequence in which they happened. For example, Ali woke up first of all. You will say woke up. Then he said his prayer. You will say said his prayer. Then he ate his breakfast. You will say ate his breakfast. And at the end he went to school. You will say he went to school. You cannot change the sequence. If you change the sequence, then it will not be called chronological order. I think you have got the idea of chronological order. After that, here are written signal words. First, second, before, after that, moreover, furthermore, then, at the end, no longer. All these are called signal words. They are called cohesive devices also because they join sentences and paragraphs. Here is a signal to reader that a sequence of events is being described. The sequence should be described also. Dear students, related to that explanation, here is the exercise. In this exercise, we are set to read the story and arrange the events from the story into the graphic organization showing time sequence. Yes, students, can you see here first of all what happened, then second event, third event, fourth event, fifth event. The first event will be when Pip was a child. After that what happened, then we shall write here. The first event will not be Pip was a successful person. No, Pip was successful person will be mentioned at the end, not in the beginning. The first event will be the event which happened first. Let us see. I have mentioned here, for example, as first event, Pip gives something to eat and drink to a prisoner who had escaped from prison. Okay. Then what is the second event? Second event is he is told that he would get a lot of money and starts getting money regularly. Yes, this second event happened after the first. Okay, then what is the third one? The third one is Pip is visited by the same prisoner in England who is a rich man now. Yes, student, this is the third event. That person was sent to Australia as a punishment. He lived there, he worked very hard and earned a lot of money. When he became rich, he visited England. Though he was not allowed to visit England, but he came in England to visit Pip. This is the third event. You can change a little also, no problem, but the sequence should not be disturbed. You can change the events. I have selected 5 events. You can select different ones also, but you have to write them in a sequence, in chronological order. What have I selected as fourth event? Pip feels it dangerous for the prisoner to stay in England and tries to take him out of England. The prisoner is recaptured by police and dies in prison. This is the fourth event. And then what will be the fifth event? The fifth event is Pip gets no wealth for which he was promised. He works hard and becomes a successful businessman. Yes, students, the main thing among these events is that they are mentioned here in chronological order. You can select different ones, but the main thing you have to focus on is that you will write them in chronological order. Yes, students, now we have come to the grammar section. In grammar section, let us read the instructions. We are said to fill in the blanks with past perfect tense. In the case of questions, use the indicated subject. We have to complete in past perfect tense. You know past perfect. It will become past perfect if we use here had and third form of the verb. They had eaten before he arrived. They had eaten before he arrived. What have you done that upset him so much? What had you done? What had you done? This is a question. You can see question mark. Ali had not done the gardening. We had not eaten already. Had Tahira chosen the color for her room? Dear students, it will be like this. I have written the answers here. You can see. Tahira had chosen the color for her room before she was asked to paint it black. It will look like this when you complete it. Let us move forward to the next exercise. This is past perfect continuous. In our previous exercise, we used past perfect. Past perfect. We used had and third form of the verb. Here is past perfect continuous. In our previous exercise, it was not continuous. It was past perfect only. Now we are going to use past perfect continuous. Continuous means there will be ing with the verb after had been. The past perfect continuous is used to talk about actions or situations that were in progress before some other actions or situations. There are also other uses. Okay, what are other uses? Duration of a past action up to a certain period in the past. We use past perfect continuous tense to show duration of past action. We use it to show cause of an action. We use it to show third conditional when we use had and would have. We use it in reported speech of direct, indirect also. Let us move forward. This is the sentence structure. Sentence structure of past perfect continuous tense. In this tense, if it is a question, this is the sentence structure of past continuous tense when it is given in interrogative form, when it is given in question form. First of all, there will be had, then there will be subject, after that there will be been, and then verb in continuous form. If it is negative sentence, then the sentence structure will become subject will be first of all. When it was question or interrogative, Had was written in the beginning. Now it is negative, subject will be written in the beginning. Had will come after the subject, and this not will be added to change it into negative. After that the same structure will be there. There will be been and then verb in continuous form. If you read this 2-3 times and try to understand, you will understand this is called sentence structure. This is called sentence structure, and each tense has its own sentence structure. As we have discussed here, sentence structure of past perfect continuous when it is simple. We have discussed here past continuous when it is interrogative. We have discussed here sentence structure of past perfect continuous when it is negative. We have discussed 3 sentence structures of past perfect continuous tense. Let us move forward. This is exercise. In this exercise, we are set to fill in the blanks with the past perfect tense or past perfect continuous tense, whichever is appropriate. Dear students, here you have to use your skill to find out what will be appropriate in each part. If past perfect is appropriate, you will use that. If past perfect continuous is appropriate, you will use that. You have to decide. They not complete their homework on time. Okay, if we complete it in past perfect form, we shall write they had not completed their homework on time. If we use here past perfect tense, it will become they had not completed their homework on time. If we use past perfect continuous, it will become they had not been completing their homework. Which looks appropriate? The first one, not the second one. The first one is appropriate. They had not completed their homework on time. Dear students, this is the way to find out which one will be appropriate. You complete it in both ways, then try to understand which one is appropriate. Let us move to part number 2. I had read for hours when my eyes began to hurt. I had been reading for hours. Yes, I think you have got the idea. I have written here the first one as I told you, but in second one we shall write had been reading for hours when my eyes began to hurt. If you look at number 3, you can understand Samreen had read 5 stories by the end of the week. With by the end of the week, would you write Samreen had been reading? No. If you read the whole sentence, the sentence will tell you what is appropriate. As I told you, complete it in both ways, then decide which is appropriate. They had been trying to contact their parents for days. For days is here, which is telling us it will be past perfect continuous when they finally succeeded. She had been working for a car for months when she found one at a reasonable price. She had been looking for a car. She had looked for a car for months. Will it be okay? No. When it is written here for months, you will complete it in past perfect continuous form. Dear students, we have completed this exercise. We shall do the remaining ones in our next lesson. In your homework, you will learn and write the essay, My Ambition, that we did in the beginning of today's lesson. You will do the exercises of Unit 11 that we have done today. Dear students, that is all from our today's lesson. See you later in a new lesson. Goodbye.